What was killing King Herod when he tried to kill baby Jesus? All right, let's talk about King Herod the Great. Not the cartoon villain, no, just the paranoid old man from Sunday school, okay? We're talking about a real man, rotting from the inside out, body and mind, who in the last of his miserable days ordered his son to murder the, every child 2 years and old and under in a desperate attempt to cling to power and to stop Rome from being upset. King Herod's job was to keep peace between the Romans and the Jews, or the Pharisees, as they were called at the time. So the question is, what the hell was happening to him? Nobody talks about it, okay? Nobody talks about what was actually physically happening to him, because history records are far more than a power trip. He was very sick. He was 69. He was violently sick, possibly dying, and maybe out of his mind. And part of his body was rotting away, and they had maggots festering inside of private areas that were no longer there because they were rotted away. Around 4 BC, Herod received word from the Magi, the wise men, that the King of Jews was born in Bethlehem. That phrase alone was enough to set Herod off. He was already a puppet king installed by Rome. Again, a puppet king. Not loved by the Jewish people, because the Pharisees did not like him. He was very paranoid to the core. He ordered what became known as the Massacre of Innocents, a mass execution of all the male children in Bethlehem under the age of 2. And it wasn't just political. It was an act of a man that was on the edge of a mental breakdown. Historical sources, especially Josephus, the Jewish historian, gives us a detailed, gruesome description of Herod's final illness. He was suffering from severe abdominal pain, convulsions and tumors, itching all over his body, putrefaction of his genitals, difficulty breathing, ulcerated bowels, loss of appetite, gangrene, maggot-infested flesh, and extreme mental deterioration. In short, the man was literally decomposing while alive. Modern scholars and doctors have tried to diagnose it, and the leading theories, chronicle nephritis, it explains the fatigue, the delirium, swelling, and convulsions. He had chronic kidney disease with Fournier's gangrene. Fournier's gangrene is a flesh-eating bacterial infection of the Privatellia. It matches the purification of that area with the maggots. It's extremely painful, often fatal, and causes septic shock, delirium, and hallucinations. Some believe Herod may have suffered from STDs in advanced stages of neurosyphilis, dementia, psychosis, paranoia, delusions of persecutions. Does that sound a little familiar based on his sicknesses? Even before his final illness, Herod was killing off his own sons, and anyone who posed a threat, real or imagined. Caesar Augustus famously said, "It's better to be Herod's pig than his own son," a pun on Herod's King Herod being nominally Pharisees and not eating pork. He was so paranoid, he died unloved. So he ordered the execution of hundreds of noblemen on his deathbed so the nation would be forced to mourn. That didn't happen. Thankfully, it shows his total mental disintegration. Okay, the big picture here. So when the Magi came and said, "There's a new king born in Bethlehem," Herod wasn't just a tyrant. He was terminally ill, paranoid, infected, mentally unraveling man who beloved the throne that was slipping from his hands, not just politically, but spiritually. He didn't just want Jesus dead. He wanted everyone who could possibly be him dead. And what makes it even more chilling, he did this knowing he was dying. This wasn't a strategy for future power. It was a final act of rage from a man who feared being forgotten. Herod tried to kill hope itself, the symbol of a new kingdom, and threatened his rotten old ones. But the irony, his name lives on in infamy, while the baby he tried to kill, Yeshua, Jesus, changed the course of history. He brought us love and freedom and salvation through his death. Herod couldn't, he wasn't going to be able to. His kingdom fell, his illnesses destroyed him, and his fear outlived him. And every Christmas, people still read the story of a baby born in a manger and remember the tyrant who tried and failed to stop it. Would you like more biblical history? Would you like more history on different people around the world? Let me know. I do videos all the time about family members that are known in history of my family, my wife's family. Do you have a family history member that you want a video done about? Let me know. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. Let's learn more about Jesus. Let's learn more about the Bible, and let's learn more about our history, baby. Berserkinian out.